All right, welcome to lesson number 7, the final lesson in this course. So what we're going to be doing in this lesson is cleaning up that mark as complete button. So right now the experience is honestly a little janky. Click the button and the whole thank you for your form submission message pops up. We are going to be tweaking that in order to make the experience not as jarring. And then this lesson does require a bit of custom code, but what we're going to be doing is adding some code to when somebody clicks the mark as complete button, it's going to add some metadata to their MemberStack profile. And then based on that, we're going to hide and show the mark as complete form. That way, if a member goes back to a video that they've already marked as watched, it'll say completed and they won't have the option to mark it as watched again. So this part is definitely optional. You don't need this for the core functionality, but it does add a much nicer user experience. Oh, and before we dive in, check the notes below for a link to just copy and paste this custom code. I'll be showing you what you need to tweak in order to get it to work for your site. Okay, let's finish this up. Okay, so let's go back to our lessons template or episode template. So this mark as complete form. So on this, I'm gonna style the success state of this form to match the button. So the jump between the submit button and the success state isn't as jarring. Okay, so first off, let's style the success state. So I'm gonna click on the form and I'm gonna say completed button. That's what we'll call it. And actually let's go back, or let's actually add a button just so I can get the styling from here. All right, so the padding is 12, top and bottom, 28, side to side. So I'm going to change this to completed, and let's do 28 on either side, 12 on top and bottom. Perfect. And then let's set the background as this light color, so it's like faded out. And then the font color, we'll do this primary. Let's see what other styles, 716 and white. So we'll do the same for here. So 716, and we're gonna do the primary for this one. All right, so next I'm gonna wrap this whole form in a div. Let's grab the whole form block, put that in here, and I'm gonna change that to flex. That way it doesn't stretch. Okay, so now the normal state is marked as watched, and the completed state looks like this. Oh, also let's add border radius. So we have 8 pixels. So let's add 8 pixels here. Perfect. All right, so now when that button is clicked, it won't be as jarring of an interaction, but we still need to add one more button. It's not actually gonna be a button, it's just gonna be a text label styled as the button. But what we wanna do is show a button if this video has been completed by the user and then hide the form altogether. So let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and add a text block. And this is styled completed button. So what I'm gonna do is just take that styling completed button. All right, so I need to clean this up a bit more. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the margin bottom from here and add it to this whole div block. Margin bottom 60, okay. Actually, I'm gonna call this completed mark as complete wrapper. Change that to flex, make it inline. Let's see, there's this form has some padding on the margin bottom. I'm gonna remove that. And then this div block, and then I'm going to add some margin bottom to space it all out. And then I'm gonna say completed on this. All right, so this is how we're gonna hide and show. So what we wanna do is, first off, go to the form block and we're gonna add an ID of mark as watched. Mark as watched. And then on this completed button, we're gonna say video-complete. All right, so from here, what we're gonna do is add in some custom code. So I'm gonna go to this template, the template settings, and before the body tag, I'm going to paste in some custom code. I'll add this code in the notes below, so you can just copy and paste it. But real quick, what you need to do is up here, you need to make sure this data MemberStack ID is set to your ID. So you can go back to MemberStack and in the settings and install code, you can find your MemberStack ID. So it's this snippet. So I'm just going to copy that and replace it here. And then also this constant item ID, we need to pull in the video item ID here from the CMS. So I'm going to do episode item ID. Okay, so what this is doing is we're checking if the user is logged in. If they are logged in, all of this will run. Next up, we are checking if they have video metadata. If they don't, we're going to add that. If they do have the metadata, we want to get the element ID, mark as watched, and video complete, which is the form and the text label. If they do have this item ID in their metadata, we're going to hide the form, set it to display none, and then set the video complete as a display of block. And then once that form is submitted, if the metadata doesn't exist, we're going to add that to their profile. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. One last thing I need to do is on this completed one, I'm going to say hide, and then this is going to be hidden by default, but it still has the video complete ID. And then this one we can change back to the normal state. All right, I'm going to go ahead and publish this, and then we'll test it all out and confirm that it works. Okay, so let's go back and refresh. So actually, let's go ahead and let's delete all of these records just so we can have a clean slate. Let's also go to the member in Webflow and delete them here as well. And I'm going to go ahead and publish that. Okay, just publish the site just in case. Okay, so now what should happen is when we submit this form, the same Zap process should run, but it should also add the video ID to the member in MemberStack. So let's click mark as complete. You can see it switched to completed. Now if we go to the members, find the member, you can see this now has a metadata tab, and it added some JSON, that video ID. You can see if we go to one without it, that member metadata doesn't show up. But now if we go to a different page, you can see it's marked as watched. But if we go back to the first page, you can see it's showing up as completed. Perfect. Not sure what's happening here. This got messed up somehow. Oh, margin bottom 60. Whoops. Accidentally added display flex to that. Okay, let's refresh that. Or republish. Okay, and the video got added to Airtable and to the reference field, and it should have been sent back to Webflow as well. So if we go to the dashboard, you can see it here. So let's go back and complete a new episode or a new lesson. Mark this one as watched. Perfect. Maybe we'll watch this FR unit one. And let's see. Both of them were added in Airtable. Let's go back to our dashboard, and they're both showing up here. Awesome. Okay, so this is still like a little bit rough. Obviously, things need to be cleaned up here and there, but all the functionality is there. So you can have somebody sign up. So I'm going to say a user at example.com, and we'll enter password. We can sign up and pay. Perfect. So now it should have ran through this Zap process and created the member. So you can see a user is here, and it should be in MemberStack as well. Perfect. Okay, so now if we go to series, we can mark as watched. Let's go to another one, mark this one as watched. And if we go back to intro to the designer, that is still set as completed. We can go to our dashboard to see which episodes we have recently watched, and we have access to get back to other ones. All right, I think we are all done. So we have a full membership site. You're able to log in, log out, sign up. Members have their own unique dashboard. You're able to track which videos a member has watched. and then display those videos on their dashboard page. And then with a little custom code, we were able to show that this is completed through the member data here in MemberStack. So it's all set up and working. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this course and I hope you learned from it. So you can definitely apply these principles to various types of not only membership sites, but different no-code application builds. If you want to find more of my stuff, you can check out my website, McKinseyChild.me, or find me on Twitter at McKinseyChild. But until the next one, hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Peace.